Today's webinar is mainly going to be about the 10 daily hacks for total life transformation. Once again, my name is Dr. Alex Tam, and we want to go over hacks that you can have, really to figure out exactly what's the best way for you to live the best life that you can. Now, a little bit of disclaimer is please, before you do anything that is shown to you on this, that you check with a healthcare professional, check with your doctor, check with friends and family, right? Your primary care doctor to make sure that you are doing everything that you need to do. And if you happen to have better health because of this and your health improves, please share your experience online on our Facebook, YouTube. You could create a video and share it with us in any way possible. That's what we're here for. We love our patients' feedback. Now, there will be 10 hacks that I'm going to show you, but there will be bonus hacks as well and hack in a hack. So why don't we get started? Now, once again, my name is Dr. Alex Tam, and my background in education is that I have a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Biology from UC Davis. I've been a clinical director here at Absolute Integrated Physical Medicine since 2009 and have treated over 10,000 patients that came through our office. Our mission in the office is to help patients with chronic pain get their lives back without harmful medications and also necessary surgery as well. So here's the contents that we're going to go over today. Really excited to go over everything with you guys. First will be a cold shower challenge. A lot of people are talking about that. Is a cold shower, cold plunge, is that something that's good for your body? Second is morning versus nighttime exercises. We talk about food. Do you eat breakfast? Do you not? Right? Coffee, is that good for you? Is it not good for you? Quick health fix. That is going to be one of the hacks that has multiple hacks in the middle as well. The power of standing, why is it so important? Our vision, our sleep, mindful evenings, and also nighttime stretching as well. When we look over everything, you're going to see everything that has, we put everything in chronological order to make sure that it's going to be great for you guys in the long run. Okay. So let's talk about cold shower, right? Is that a benefit? Is it not? What's it all about? So what makes a regular shower or a cold shower different than a regular shower? Now, first off, is any shower that is below 70 degrees Fahrenheit is known to be a cold shower. And it's been known to also have good health benefits as well. So now here's the thing. If you do have heart problems, lung problems, maybe you're pregnant or recent got injuries, and depending if you feel like if you're healthy enough, make sure you go over this with your doctors first. If you're taking medication, if any chronic health problems, go over with your doctors first before you do any of this, okay? Because what I'm giving you is mainly for educational purposes. You got to be healthy enough to do this. Now, what are some of the benefits of a cold shower? Number one, studies showed that it boosts your immunity by enhancing your anti-inflammatory norepinephrine release in the body. And that's also why when you look at people who swim in cold waters as well, who've done cold plunges, can really adapt to stress better, and your body just reacts better to stress overall. Number two is that it's better for your mental health, right? Cold showers, it sends impulses to the skin, to your brain, and it really boosts your mental health, clarity, your memory as well. The University School of Medicine in Richmond looked at links between reduced mental stress and also mental health in the long run. Chronic fatigue. If you're feeling tired, cold shower might be one of the best things that you can do to wake you up in the morning, right? And it's been shown to reduce the hypothalamus activity, or really have positive effects on it. Now, increased alertness, we talked about that. That's part of the mental. And the enhanced glow. Why is the enhanced glow important? Right? A lot of people are looking at the hair, skin, and nails, and cold showers can really definitely cause a lot of benefits there as well. moving on to, should you exercise in the morning or should you exercise at night? I mean, what's the best time? I'll tell you right off the bat, there's more oxygen during the morning time than there are in the evening time when you're exercising outside or anywhere in the world. Now, here's why, or here's how you, what you can do and why it's important to exercise in the morning versus the nighttime. Besides the oxygen, first thing in the morning is usually easier to control your day first thing when you wake up in the morning. So it creates consistency. So when you first work out in the morning, you work out the same time every single day. But at night, well, it really causes more problems towards the end of the day because you never know how your day is going to turn out. Second, it can be better sleep for you, right? Research shows that morning exercises, well, you adjust your body to the circadian rhythm. You have your cortisol levels, your adrenal levels in the body, and you'll get better sleep. Increase fat burning. Because your cortisol levels are higher in the morning, you're going to increase the intensity of the fat burning. Because if you do it at night, what happens now is you're burning fat, you're increasing your metabolism, but you're sleeping at night. So that doesn't really make sense. You don't want to wake your body up right before you're about to go to sleep. It boosts your productivity levels because when you are exercising in the morning, it also increases your mental alertness as well, your oxygen flow, your blood flow, and it's going to really, really help boost your productivity level. And then lastly, it elevates your mood. During the day, when you exercise in the morning, your mood will ultimately be better as well because you're enhancing all the endorphins, your dopamine levels as well in the body. So those are really, really helpful. Now, here's how you prepare for it, right? First thing in the morning, you got to prepare for a workout. Like, what are you going to do the next day, right? You don't only do it the same day, you do it the night before. You prepare for it, look at, maybe you need to use an app. Maybe you got working with a trainer, right? The night before, put all your workout clothes out, just have a bottle of water ready so you're ready to go and set an alarm. Okay. Get ready first thing in the morning so that you are ready to roll, ready to go. You got to stay hydrated at the same time. So make sure you stay really, really hydrated the night before. And if you are planning to have something that is high intensity, make sure the day before that you do have some form of complex carbs, because if not, you're going to run out of carbohydrates in your muscles really, really quickly. And number 5, if you are going to do an intense workout, the night before or the morning of, do a light meal, right? Something that's nice and light, not too fatty, right? Because if you go too fatty, your body's trying to digest all the food. It's not going to work out very well. Make sure you do warm up with a little bit of cardio first thing in the morning, because if not, you might pull a muscle, pull a hammy, pull something. You don't want that. So now we're going to go into breakfast. Is breakfast something that we should be eating on a regular basis, right? Some of you like intermittent fasting, but you also have to know that intermittent fasting is great, but it can also cause brain fog if you're not getting enough breakfast in the morning, cause a little bit of stress as well. So let's talk about why you would want to have breakfast. Now, a 2018 study in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health showed that skipping breakfast will increase stress and also increase your risk of depression as well. Energy levels. In 2001, the recent developments in applied microbiology and biochemistry show that your body will have lower energy if you do skip breakfast as well. Some people might argue and say, well, intermittent fasting gives you more energy. Yes, but it's not for everyone, right? Sometimes you do have to break the fast. Sometimes it's good not to, but it really depends. Food cravings, skipping meals can cause you to maybe indulge a little bit more in lunch and dinner. So you have to watch for that, right? Because your body is very hungry by the time you get to lunch, and you might overindulge a little bit. So you got to watch for that as well. Nutrient deficiencies. If you're not eating breakfast, that means you have to do more at lunch and dinner. So having breakfast really balances out everything, especially if you just came off of a heavy workout as well. And digestion. It can sometimes cause digestive problems, but at the same time, I want to pay attention to this. It can also give your gut a break. So although sometimes Having breakfast is great, but it can also, once in a while, maybe take a break from breakfast to give yourself and your colon a break as well. Okay, now here's some tips. If you do eat breakfast, here's some tips for it. Make sure to not have any added sugar, like the syrup, juices, syrup that you put on pancakes and whatnot. Those are really added sugars that is completely unnecessary. Make sure you have some veggies, right, into this as well. Veggies is good because it adds fiber first thing in the morning. Go lean on the protein, which means that you don't want really fatty meat first thing in the morning because it's just not healthy for your gut to do that. And it's going to slow you down as the day goes on. And then include some fiber and healthy fats, not like super fats, right? And then also look at, depending on what you're planning to do, adapt your breakfast to your lifestyle. What does that mean? If your day is where you need a lot more endurance during the day, if your day requires more brain power, incorporating some fats in the morning is great, but not too much. But if your day is very you're working outside, very labor intensive, then you have to have a little bit more of the complex carbs and less fat. So you have to tailor your meal to what your breakfast is, or to your activities, if you will. Now, a lot of people ask me about coffee. More people ask me about coffee than anything else. How many of you out there are actually drinking at least a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, right? Now, we had a patient just earlier. I said, "Do you drink coffee in the morning?" He says, "Yes, I do." I said, "What do you drink?" He says, "Peets," right? And he pours his own Peets at home, makes his own Peets coffee at home. Well, but the problem is that anything that is non-organic, it also means that it's really heavily sprayed, genetically modified. So you actually want coffee that is non-genetically modified. So you do want coffee that is completely organic as much as you can. Okay. So make sure you do that from now on. The next thing is, now what's the benefits? You do want organic coffee because it doesn't have chemicals. It's eco-friendly, right? It's rich in antioxidants, promotes fair trade, and it's to me, it tastes better. If I do have coffee, knowing that's organic, maybe it's just the fact that I know it's organic, tastes a little bit better, right? And go from there. Now, quick health fix. This is more of a hack or multiple hacks within a hack. So I'm going to blast through these, right? So that you guys can really take a look at them. And once again, you guys will get the PDFs on it afterwards. So let's start with this. Now, if you're feeling a little unfocused, right, during the day, like you can't focus on anything, what do? Go for a run, a bike ride, go do some rowing, have some physical intense activity. That way you can refocus. If you're not feeling inspired, what do? I like to start my day with YouTube videos where it's motivational, watch a podcast, read a book. All right. Attend a webinar like this. What about if you're upset? Oh, Dr. Tian, I mean, my kids just upset me, or my coworkers upset me. Well, here's a fix for that. Take a breath. Take a deep breath. Take 20 deep breaths, right? Count the breaths. 4, 5, and 6. You could do 4 5s or 4 6s, which means you breathe in, takes 4 seconds, 4, 5, and 6 seconds, breathing out. Work that so you get into a rhythm and count the seconds. Okay. If you're feeling burnt out, maybe you're feeling a little burnt out from your work, from job, or day to day, right? And you haven't gone anywhere for a while. That means your body needs a little bit of negative ions. And that's where nature comes in, right? Walk on the beach, walk in the forest, stand in the ocean, right? Go soak and just soak away in nature. That's what you need. What if you're tired throughout the day? Well, that's easy. Just go for a walk. Okay. We put this one in here because a lot of people are coming off of COVID. And during those few years, a lot of people felt lonely. And you never know when you're watching this, you could be watching it just post-COVID, a few years later, but people got a little lonely, right? And what do you do when you're lonely and you can't be with other people? Well, I would say go phone a friend, engage in social media a little bit. Now, social media, people say, oh, it's bad. Social media is bad. But the engagement, studies show, is real. Because when you are able to comment, when you are able to express your feelings, when you are talking to people in social media, you're not just scrolling through, right? You're actually actively engaging. That actually boosts your social life by quite a bit. Okay. But it's never better than having in person giving hugs and whatnot when you're just talking to people, right? So the next one. Now, standing. Why is standing so important? Standing is important because, well, sitting is the new smoking. All right. Standing. Our bodies are designed, our muscles, your back muscles, your glutes, your legs are designed for standing. If we sit too much, well, what happens? You might get blood pressure problems, increase in diabetes, increase in blood clots, right? And all these problems come about from sitting too much. Now, actually, if you stand longer, okay, longer than, well, if you sit less, let's just say that, okay, because anytime when you sit more than 6 hours a day, it has shown to have really taxing on the body and also life expectancy as well, increase higher mortality rate from cardiovascular diseases, whereas compared to people who sit less than 3 hours a day, I mean, it's a big difference. So definitely try to sit less than 3 hours a day. A good rule of thumb is during the day, I'm always up and about, walking around, going and seeing patients, talking to staff. So that's minimize sit time as much as possible. All right. Now the next one is how do you do it, right? In a workplace, how do you incorporate standing? Maybe you need a standing desk, right? Where you're standing during phone calls, standing during meetups, right? And also a timer, maybe incorporate in an app or a timer where every so often you have to stand up and you have to walk around. What are some things that you could do at home now, right? At home, when you're watching TV, enjoying a show, do some stretches, stand while you're doing it, right? You're standing while you're cooking. Maybe you should stand while you're eating as well. Figure out what you can do. Take a walk after your meal. And we'll actually go about that and figure out how you can spend more time on your feet, less time on your butt. Okay. Before we get into that, let's talk about vision. Vision is so important. Why? Well, because that's how we see the whole world. What is a 20-20-20 rule? Okay. That is for every 20 minutes, you need to focus on something 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. All right. That is the 20-20-20 rule. Now, you got to set a timer, remind yourself. That's important because your muscles in the eye have to be able to contract and relax. When you're looking at something close up, the muscles are always contracting. It pulls and stretches out the lens. But if you don't look at something far away, to allow the muscles to relax, then your muscles stay really tight all the time. I mean, how many of you have tight shoulders if you work on a desk too much or you work on the computers? A lot of you might, right? So make sure you're doing the right thing for your eyes as well. Let the eyes relax so that you're looking at something close up every 20 minutes, at least for 20 seconds. Look at something a little further away. Okay. Help out your eyes. You only got one set of those. Make sure you do it right. Okay. Now, sleeping. Sleeping is so, so important. I can't stress on how important sleeping is. But how many of you are drinking coffee right before you go to sleep? Or worse yet, you're using your phone before you go to sleep, right? Or as you go to sleep. People tell me, "Oh, Dr. Tam, I fall asleep with my phone in my hand." I say, "Well, that's terrible. Don't do it." Right? I mean, look at you cannot have the phone looking at the screen. I mean, the blue light and everything. It just doesn't work. So, well, what do I do, Dr. Tam? These are things that you just have to, Swanwick makes these orange blue light filter blocking glasses for you. Make sure you start wearing those. But also look at what are the drinks. Okay, people are, oh yeah, I don't drink coffee. Well, yeah, you might not drink coffee, but how often are you drinking sodas at night, right? Drinking some tea. Maybe you're eating dark chocolate, right? Maybe you're eating a chocolate cake. On the left here, look at all the items that you might be drinking or eating, right? That has caffeine. You don't want to you just don't want to intake caffeine at night because it's completely going to throw off your circadian rhythm, throws off your sleep, which absolutely will start increasing a lot of other problems as well, and then ultimately lead to insomnia. And if you don't get enough sleep, there's no way anything else is going to work well, because you're going to start losing your concentration. You might get more irritated and your health is going to suffer. All right. Now, there are certain foods that you may not know that has caffeine. And if some of you are actually sensitive to caffeine, then this is going to cause problems. Okay. Avitate. This is fancy water, vitamin water. This has 90 grams of caffeine. Headache medications, that has 65 milligrams of caffeine, right? Chocolate, that's 31. Certain ice cream, that's 30. Protein bars. Did you know that decaffeinated coffee not only is not good for you because a lot of it is leached out by formaldehyde, but it also has caffeine, 12 milligrams of caffeine. Not a lot, but it does have some. And you can take a look at the rest of these, because how many of you could be eating a chocolate chip cookie that could have a little bit of caffeine as well, right? Now, other things, evenings, after dinner, you got to go for a walk, right? Go and meditate. See, walking enhances your digestion. It aids in digestion. In 2021, the study showed that walking reduced gastrointestinal issues like bloating, flatulence, right? In adults who briefly walk after meals. Myself, after every meal, about 15 to 30 minutes later, I go out for a 15 to 30-minute walk. That is just how my wife and I connect. We talk about the day, we talk about the next day, and we just gaze at the stars a little bit, right? This is something that you absolutely should do and work on. It'll help your relationship and your health. You knock it out 2 in 1. It regulates blood sugar. It helps with the heart. Weight helps with that. And if you learn how to meditate, we have a couple tips for you later on, because meditation really helps calm your brain, relaxes, decrease inflammation as well, because stress is the ultimate factor that causes a lot more inflammation. And well, how often should you be walking, right? At least 10 to 15 minutes a day after dinner. But throughout the day, you should be walking as well. Study shows that after 4,000 steps, it can have some improvements. I know a lot of you do like 7,000, 10,000. Some studies show even 15 to 20,000 will have significant benefits. So make sure you do your walks, okay? Now, here's on the bottom of this, there's a YouTube link where the mindful movement is the link where I have gone and done a lot of meditation. I know I've tested it. It works for me. I hope it works for you as well. Okay. Now, stretching. I cannot stress enough about stretching at the evening time. Why is that? That's because during the day, our spine compresses, our muscles are tight, whether you're using the computer or just doing your day-to-day. It's going to start locking up. What you have to do is, I usually do about 15 to 20 minutes of stretching right before I go to bed. Nice and calm music, nothing loud. During the day, you should be doing some stretching as well, right? Study shows that those who stretch 60 minutes 3 times a week, well, 180 minutes out of 7 days, really it's about 20 something minutes a day. It's not that much, right? You got to spend time to relax these muscles, because if you go to bed with your body really, really tight and you're not stretching those out, that means while you're laying there in bed, you're still tight. And by the time you wake up in the morning, you're wondering, why am I still so tight from the day before? Do it gently. It will increase your mobility. It helps out with your muscles. Your muscles will actually start absorbing some of the water because you're stretching it out. Think of a sponge. You're squeezing a sponge and it's absorbing all that water. So drink a little bit of water so you don't end up with cramps at night after you do these stretches. Okay. Now, we provide our patients with a lot of stretching exercise. If you scan the QR code, it's going to bring you to our website that shows you all these stretching exercises in video as well. But we give a sheet to all of our patients. For all of our patients that are currently watching this, take a look. It's going to really help you. All right. Take a picture of this, screenshot this, and save it on your phone.